Hello and welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson we left ourselves off by setting this nice building structure over here. I'm going to go ahead and firstly just make sure I group everything up so it would be easier to move it all around. I'm going to just go to the top-down view, going to just have it all selected. Keep in mind I have everything locked in for the gray box and persistent level, except for the harbor items, that is. So I have all of this selected. I'm just going to click F just in case, make sure that everything is only that selected. Going to click Ctrl G to group it up. Now we can click off and click back on it and have it nicely selected. I will actually keep this building off to the side and hold Alt and just duplicate it. The reason being is just I want to make sure that the buildings that we're making are just going to be off to the side and whatnot. And I will see how this building looks like overall. If it's not too high, not too tall and whatnot. And I think, yeah, we will need to just make some slight adjustments to it. It's going to be quite all right. It's actually simple enough to do. So yeah, the main thing that we need to do is just lower these levels over here and just bring everything downwards, and that's going to be able to fix everything in regards to the height. The main reason I'm talking about the height is mainly because if we turn off the items, you can see the height is set over here. In regards, if we click 1, it's going to just be this area over here. But if we turn it on now with the building, it's a little bit too high off. So the alternative version, what we could have done is just we could have grabbed this building off with the gray box and just duplicate it, maybe put it off to the side and just base it on that, or just build this entire building structure in this area. But because we did like so, we can just go ahead and modify it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and grab this. We're going to actually click Shift G to ungroup it. And then we're going to go up to the side view. So that's going to be this view over here. Going to click F. And because there's no other, I'm going to tick off gray box actually, because there's no other objects over here, as you can see, I can just make a selection box like so, and it's going to be quite all right, just like that. Going to turn on the gray box and just going to lower everything downwards like so. So the overall silhouette is being kept the same. This building is not too high in comparison when we're looking at this kind of a look. As you can see, otherwise it would be just going out of the thumbnail, for example, of the main shot and whatnot. And yeah, all in all, this is quite all right. Let's just make sure that this is nicely set up. I'm going to take off the gray box. I'm going to make sure that this flag is actually placed properly off to the side. And go ahead and have a quick look again. I think that's going to be quite all right. Making sure that it's actually going to be okay for this. Yeah, okay. So this flag over here is going to be a little bit in the way. It was over here. It was this was a bit lower. Yeah, I think the bottom structure was a bit lower, but all in all, that's going to be quite okay. We just need to fix the flag to make sure it doesn't overlap. So the way we're going to do it is just we're going to grab this, maybe put it up on the side, just like that. And I think that's going to be quite okay. All right, so now that we're done with this, we need to grab these a little bit. As you can see the gap now. Before it was higher up, so I wasn't too worried. But now it's going to be, well, if I click play, we can see it's going to be quite visible. I'm going to just make sure we don't have that gap. Going to just attach it properly, like so. And now we have it nicely closed up over here. I'm going to make sure that we have all of these items selected. So we still can do that through the side selection. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Going to just select all of these like so. Actually, seems like the boat, one of the boats is being selected. Going to click F to make sure that only this is selected. Going to click Ctrl G to group it up, and there we go. We got ourselves a nice type of a building. All right, so the next step is going to be setting up the harbor section over here, and then afterwards the boats. So for the harbor section, as you can see, well, this section, like a small market and whatnot, is going to be having tents, some arcs, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to be rather simple to do. We're going to go ahead and go to find the right type of setup, the right type of things. This time we're just going to drag it out onto the gray box itself and just kind of overlap it, make sure it's in the right shape and whatnot. I'm going to grab this one over here. I'm going to hold Alt, push it all the way off to the side, like so. I'm going to click F, make sure we just grab it off to the side, just like that. And just kind of reattach it, like so. Replace the object basically at this point. Going to just hold Alt, replace it so, and select both of them, hold Alt, and just drag it to the other side, just like that. And we got ourselves a nice top section. Now we just need some arcs and we need some pillars underneath, which is going to be easy to do actually. Within meshes, I'll try to search for columns, since I know that's how it's been grouped up. And there you go. So we got this column over here, which is going to be perfect for this section. Going to replace it casually like so. It might be not high enough. We're going to be checking that in a bit though. Going to hold Alt and just replace it with this area like so. And yeah, at this point, I'm not too worried about the overall layout since this entire gray box is more or less laid out. I'm just worried about the structural integrity of this entire section. I'm making sure that like a third-person character, for example, would be able to not see like any gaps and whatnot, would be able to just walk past this section, which we're going to be testing it out. But we need to make sure we grab those arcs as well. So for the arcs, we're going to... actually, can I search for arc? We'll go ahead and try that. And yes, we can. We're going to be using perhaps more fancier arcs. These ones over here, going to check how they look like. Yeah, I think we are going to be using these ones. Let me just go ahead and rotate it to the right angle, like so. Going to put it up to the side, just like that. And position it like so. Hold Alt. Drag it out. Select both of them. And drag it to the other side. Click R, rotate it 180 degrees, and put it up onto the edge. And there we go. We got ourselves a nice structure. Now we're going to take off the gray box and see how it looks like. And everything, as you can see, is off-centered and whatnot. We might need it lowering down or raising these up, depending on which situation. So I think the easiest way would be to just grab these roofs a little bit and maybe just scaling them outwards a little bit, like so. Oh, sorry about that. I used the wrong part, so just scaling it outwards like so, lowering them down a little bit, checking the height, and it's more or less going to be quite all right. And yeah, that's actually is looking quite nice. We might need to grab these and recenter them off the pillars themselves a little bit, like so. There you go. Now they're perfectly in the middle. I'm going to click play. And I'm just going to see if I can just walk between them. I think, though, we're not going to be needed with that because we're going to have some props. But I'm just making sure that there's like some nice gaps and it looks like it's passable for the player and whatnot. Even if there are some props over in this section. So we just got to make sure that it looks like it's not too small or not too large for such a dog. And last thing is we probably need some decoration over here. Actually, I will check if Greybox had it. Yeah, it does actually have it. Otherwise, if we were to click one, you can see it's a little bit empty looking. Maybe I'm considering about the section on the top as well for this area. Looks a little bit too plain. So we might need to add like a sign or anything. Before, as you can see in the Greybox, because I'm just using it as an overall layout for like a silhouette or just a general kind of detail. We don't need to follow it up completely, but as you can see, this door has a much shorter gap in between the top and the door itself. So there's no need for an extra gap, but in a harbor that we just did, this gap over here is quite glaring. So I'm wondering we can either add like a flag or something. Maybe not a flag, maybe just a decoration, maybe one of the pillars actually. So column like so, or support. There you go. We're going to add one of the supports. I'm just going to drag it out and just add it like so. This one is actually too short. Let me just go ahead and find a better one. Maybe this one over here. Let me see if this looks nice. It does look quite nice actually. I'll just make it a little bit smaller like so and bring it inwards just like that. a little bit too much. Going to take off the grid and just kind of get the shape manually, like so. And just like that, I think it looks quite nice. I will just lower it down, mainly because of these edges where, as you can see, overlapping. So just don't want that to be visible. And I'll just lower it down a little bit. I'm going to click 1 just to see from a distance how this looks like. And something like this. A little bit higher up. There you go. All right, I quite like this. This is looking quite nice. And as I said, this needs a bit of an extra setup as well. So I'm going to just simply hold Alt, drag this downwards like so. And I'm going to check what exactly we need. I think it's going to be called arc. Let me just go ahead and find it. There you go. That's what we're going to be using. We're just going to simply click on what we did previously with this setup. We're just going to click this part over here. And it's going to just, you can see over here, replace it with a nice setup. I'm just going to bring it inwards. Yeah, how this looks like. And maybe I'm just going to place it completely downwards like so. Make sure it's centered. So just readjust that. And I have the grid turned off. So maybe that was a bit of a mistake actually on my part. But all in all, I think that's going to be quite all right. And I do notice that this entire section is actually off-centered. So that's the best way would be to just probably hold Shift, just quickly select them all and quickly fix that. Since that would be probably the easiest part. And now for the next part, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that these all, I think I selected them all. I'm going to just drag it. No, not all. I'm going to select all of them, drag it off to the side. There you go. I'm going to click Control G. So I would make sure that all of them are now nicely grouped up. I'm going to reposition it a little bit so it'll be perfectly centered. There we go. All right. So I need to put this a little bit more to the right and this a little bit more to the right as well. Okay. So this looks much nicer. Just making sure that they're attached to the base and whatnot. Maybe they need to be dragged slightly downwards, which I think I'll do without the grid, just making sure that they are within the base itself, nicely touching the base. And also I'll just attach this small column to the overall section. I'm going to click Control G now. So this above this part above door is also going to be connected. Just can move it outside and you can see. Actually, I will connect this as well. Control G again, so it just regroups it, and now this entire section is grouped up just like that. All right, so in the next part, we're going to learn a little bit about boats. Right now, they're a bit stationary, so we gotta make sure we add them in nicely, and it works quite well. It should work quite well with the third-person character. So we're going to go ahead and do that in the next lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in a bit.